What's up, guys? I just got 4th place at the South Portland Regional this past Saturday, playing 50-card Branded Despia.
Any shout-outs, anything like that before you want to get in?
Shout out all the boys, Pat behind the camera, Joe, Drew, Ian, Lucas, my girlfriend. Shout out everyone at Weekend Anime. They hosted. Great event. But I'll get right into it.
Yeah, let's get it.
So this is just Andres Torres' list from the UDS tournament a few weeks ago. Just my take on it. So 3 Albaz, 3 Albion. Obviously, 3 Albion's correct. The card's very good. And then probably the 3 best cards, the 3 best branded cards in the deck. Blazing Cartesia and Quem. Quem does so much by herself. If this card stays up for more than 1 turn, you're going to win the game. 1 McCourier. Hard drawing this card is hilarious. You win every game you do it. And then for the Despia cards, we have 3 Aluber, 1 Tragedy. Pretty self-explanatory. Lubellion, Sornier. This is pretty standard stuff. And then the best card in the deck, Gimmick Puppet. It's gross, should be banned, but it's Solo's games.
A win's a win, baby. A win's a win.
The card's unbelievable. You got to play it in the deck. And then I went for the Edgent package. So I was playing 40 cards for a while with this deck, actively avoiding the Edgent package, but once I tried it out and focused on this package being engine plus board breaker, I realized how good it was. And yeah, it did so well. Way overperformed today or Saturday. And then the heart and soul of the deck, Branded Fusion. Probably heard it a billion times, but this deck doesn't lose to Ash Blossom. A lot of times it does, but there are a lot of hands in every single deck that lose to 1 Ash Blossom. But this is an obvious choke point of the deck. But if it resolves, you're probably going to win the game. Opening, High Spirits, Branded in red, Brand Lost. This is the best spell card in the deck. If this thing's up on the field, you can do some pretty cheeky shit. It is unbelievable. Brandon High Spirits is a card I'd probably cut moving forward. I don't know. It was good. It helped you play around Droll, but I don't know. I might cut it. Fusion Deployment and Foolish Burial. Deployment's unbelievable. Just tutoring out Cartesia straight from the deck. Cartesia was probably the MVP on the day. That card just did so much. It helps you dodge Imperm, Veiler. It helps you extend. It's such a good card. And then for the more flex spots going second, Thrust, 3 Thrust. If you're playing Branded, you have to play this card strictly for the fusion duplication.
How was that today?
Oh, so good. Every time I got Ash, it felt like I had Thrust in my hand, and duplication just I'm just gonna play on your turn.
Resolving Branded Fusion on your opponent's turn is so strong.
Yeah, and it's really hard to stop because you cannot Ash duplication. And then 2 talents. This essentially was just Pot of Greed all day. I just this deck, I played essentially what I wanted to be 50 engine cards, and so Thrust and Talents really were just this would be, it was all engine.
Yeah, Talents acts as a branded fusion. It acts as a fusion deployment. It can act as engine.
Yeah. And then for the non-engine, called by, it's the same thing as hard drawing McCourier. If you hard draw McCourier or you hard draw Called by the Grave, it's sacky, but you're you win those games.
50 cards drew the called by.
Yeah.
You gotta tip your cap to it.
It's funny. Yeah. The card that I cut, I didn't resolve this once all day. It was just bad. Every single time I drew it, my opponent played around it. I don't know. I would probably just cut it. It just way underperformed. I probably would have either just cut it entirely or played Droplet instead. Retribution. This card's actually it's so good for so many reasons. Allows you to play around, shit like Droplet. Like if it's in the grave, your opponent tries to Droplet your Sanctifier. Like you activate Retribution and chain like Branded in red and get rid of the. Wait, that's not a play. Never mind. You can respond to Droplet most of the time with this card in your grave, and then like activate Sanctifier. But yeah, that's the 50 cards.
How did no hand traps in the main deck feel in this format?
I mean, it was fine. Like I just like I said, like Branded engine for engine is like I'm taking Branded over pretty much every single deck. So like you setting up your board, if I draw 6 like individual engine cards, like I'm gonna break the board. Really what like the games you lose are when you get shifted or you like are playing into a board where your opponent also has like 2 or 3 hand traps. So they have like 2 or 3 hand traps in their opening hand plus like normal summon Snake Eye Ash. Those are the games you lose.
Makes sense.
But like the engine just does so much by itself and it just like keeps going. No hand traps felt totally fine.
Cool.
And then for the extra deck.
Yeah, show the sleeves up. Show the sleeves
up.
up.
Yeah. AliExpress special right here, baby.
Let's go.
So we got Grangoyle, Great Googly Moogly. This card is so good. I'd probably up this to 2. It does so much. The dump effect and the special summon effect. Like this card just like poops out Quertus and like Quertus says you're not going to lose the game, and then you get to like it's a very, very good card. I'd probably up this to 2. And then 2 Albion, 1 Lubellion, 2 Mirror Jade. That's probably the fucking MVP. I mean, just like Gimmick Puppet Lock.
I was gonna say the MVP is what that summons.
Yeah, Gimmick Puppet Lock. I will say like I'm pretty new to this deck. Like I played for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Flex.
I hope that like they hit Gimmick Puppet over hitting this card, because like even without Gimmick Puppet, like this card's still fun to play with. But like Mirror Jade is obviously like, if you can't Gimmick Puppet your opponent, you just hope to like activate 3 Mirror Jades on your opponent's turn, like win the game.
Feels like it should do the job.
Yeah. And then the dumps, Rinbrum and Titaniclad. I mean, like interruption on your opponent's turn, and just summon out Quem straight from the deck.
Did you ever summon Titaniclad today?
I did not. No, I did not. I was dumping it a lot though. It's obviously like dumping it off of Grangoyle, and then just like pooping out the Quem in the end phase is incredible.
Yeah, it's really strong.
Quertus, this card's hilarious. Every single time my opponent would go for some kind of Heat Soul line, like apparently everyone's trying to make Heat Soul in all their decks now, like I would just giggle because I knew that I was gonna make Quertus on their turn or on my turn and just like accidentally OTK them because they'd be at like 6,000 life, and like this card attack into 1 is 25, and then like if you have like a Guardian Chimera on the field, like that's enough, and then like you end on this guy and your opponent gets like 1 activation, they're gonna lose. So this card was another like MVP. Like I was winning games that I absolutely shouldn't have because of Quertus, and it would sneak up on a lot of people.
Nice.
Time card. Also,
it's a little more than that. It's
just like card. The Tax Dragon. It's such a good card. Guardian Chimera. Enough said. This card's unbelievable. Pop 2, draw 1, untargetable.
It's pretty good.
It's so good.
It's pretty good.
And then like the flex spots. Magnum Reliever and Dragospelia. These cards are just like generically good to make. Like, you know, you've already used Mirror Jade. You have Cartesia plus Quem on field. You just like use the Cartesia to fuse away the Mirror Jade and like bring out one of these, and then just like Quem bring back the Mirror Jade, and like now you have 2 more interruptions.
This one, the Magnum the Reliever, I feel like I haven't seen in a ton of Despia profiles. Maybe that's like a faded thing to say, but
I feel like people are probably more on it now. Okay. I mean, like Dragospelia, everyone's been on, but this card's really good. I mean, it draws you a card. Like it works with like so many of the cards in your main deck. Anything that says fusion and a spell card, like it works with. It's very easy to make, and draws you cards, pops cards. It's just good.
Hell yeah.
And then what I'd probably cut for the Googly Eye Dragon, I like wouldn't play Super Poly. Didn't make this card all day, so
cool. Is that all you change in between?
Probably.
The main and the extra?
I'd maybe try to figure out how to get ad libitum in there. Probably take out the Branded High Spirits. Not gonna lie, thought that card did something different going into the day. Yeah.
Let's get in the side.
So the side, like, genuinely, it was essentially like trying to play just engine, Bistio Magnamut's engine, also interruption.
Yep.
So like I just want as much engine. Like I don't want to take out a bunch of my engine cards in the main to like put in like board breakers and stuff, just because like I really feel like this deck functions well when you just draw engine. Droplet. This was for, you know, any like FTK deck, so like Branded, Centurion, like anything like that.
Just want a droplet for
yeah. And then Duster and Lightning Storm for this was for any stun matchups.
Also, people are still on Rescue Ace, just decent into that.
Yeah. I dropped a Duster on round 7 against Rescue Ace, and it went crazy. Cyclone. I'll put these together. Magical Spring and Cyclone. These were like the side. Essentially,
that's a little spicy right there.
Yeah,
you know?
Essentially, like the only thing I was really afraid of was like my opponent going full combo and then like ending on hand traps or ending on floodgates. Magical Spring, like in my mind, was like activate Magical Spring, draw Cosmic Cyclone, get rid of the floodgate, and then play.
Mm-hmm. Sound theory.
Yeah, I will say the entire day I didn't get floodgated once outside of the stun matchup, and it's probably why I just like cruised throughout the whole day. But like that was the theory here. I did multiple times draw 3 or 4 cards off this. Magical Spring is crazy, and I like in a deck where you're just trying to draw engine, very good.
I mean, you think about it too, like in the Snake Eye matchup, that probably was like pretty big on your mind. They end on like field spell, thing in the spell, trap zone, and like if it's Fire King and they keep Sanctuary up, that's a draw 3 right there.
Yeah, I mean it's quite literally like every single. I mean like Pearly, Kashira, Centurion, like
they're all ending on
like multiple face up spell and traps. And I mean this card just goes crazy. It's really, really good. And I think in Branded especially, just because really it's just draw engine. That's the game plan.
Yep.
And then
Sound.
And then my option for the floodgate in the side deck was Mistaken Arrest. I just last second threw this in. Had no idea how crazy this card was. It is completely unfair. Like, if you somehow stop, if I'm going first after side and you somehow stop the Gimmick Puppet line, you're not getting past Mistaken Arrest. This card is nuts. And like it just works in this deck because like on turn 3, I don't really need to add cards from my deck to my hand. Like I can set straight from my deck, or I can just add back from my graveyard to my hand, and like
summon from the deck.
Yeah,
a lot of like foolish effects.
I can just play with what I have, and typically win. This card was insane all day. But yeah, that was the list.
Any changes you'd make in the side, or you felt the side was perfect?
I felt the side was perfect. I mean, like I'd put the droplets in. over Super Poly, and then probably just flex that into something else. Maybe like 2 more Bystials, plus like another Lightning Storm or something like that. Yeah, the deck performed really well today. I mean, obviously Branded's like pretty good into the meta right now. Yeah, I lost like only 3 games all day, or 5 games all day, and 3 of those games were to Shifter, because like this deck really does struggle, especially if you're going first, like playing into Shifter. So is every deck.
Yeah.
Ban Shifter, ban Gimmick Puppet, and yeah, that's about it.
What was your record after Swiss, by the way?
It was X1-1. Yeah, I lost to Kashira 0-2, just got shifted and ashed both games, and then the one tie was in the last round to Fire King Snake Eye.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Will.